There's also another book. Oh, dragon cults, eh? Let us suggest, for the moment, that a high dragon is simply an animal. A cunning animal, to be sure, but in possession of no true self-awareness or sentience. There is not, after all, been a single recorded case of a dragon attempting to communicate or perform any act that could otherwise be attributed to a clever beast. How, then, does one explain the existence of so-called dragon cults throughout history? One dragon cult might be explainable, especially in light of the relevance with the old gods in the ancient Tevinter Imperium. In the wake of the First Blight, many desperate imperial citizens turned into the worship of the real dragons to replace the old gods who had failed them. A dragon, after all, was a god figure that could be that they could see. It was there, as real as the archdemon itself, and, as evidence makes clear, did offer a degree of protection to its cultists. Other dragon cults could be explained in light of the first. Some cult members might have survived and spread the word. The worship of the old gods was as widespread as the Imperium itself. Certainly such secrets would have made their way into many hands. But there have been reports of dragon cults even in places where the Imperium never touched, among folks who had never heard of the old gods or had any reason to. How does one explain them? Members of the dragon cult live in the same lair as a high dragon, nurturing and protecting its defenseless young. In exchange, the high dragon seems to permit these cultists to kill a small number of these young in order to feast on draconic blood. That blood is said to have a number of strange long-term effects, including bestowing greater strength and endurance, as well as increasing the desire to kill. It may breed insanity as well. That's lovely. Navarian dragon hunters have said that these cultists are incredibly powerful opponents. The changes the cultists are a form of blood magic. Surely. But how did the symbiotic relationship between the cult and the high dragon form in the first place? How did the cultists know to drink the dragon's blood? How did the high dragon convince them to care for its young, or know that they would? Yes, when it's an animal. There is more to draconic intelligence than we have. Is there more to draconic intelligence than we have theretofore guessed at? No member of a dragon cult has ever been taken alive. While accounts exist from days of Neverland, hunters record only mad rants and impossible tales of godhood. With dragons only recently reappearing, and still incredibly rare, we may have never known the truth, but the question remains. Draconic cults out there, huh? Lovely. Can we find something with relevance to the quest, though? I suppose we know where to go. Another book. He's very untidy, isn't he? Oh! That's probably going to get our attention first.
All right.
The body of the real Wayland. Okay. Well, that's good. Well, it's not good, but yeah. Yeah, we know that guy wasn't... Yeah, because I thought it was a bit too... the conversation was a bit weird, how we just sort of like started talking instantly about it. The political structure of the Chantry. Divine and titular head of the Chantry, although the Divine, there you go, that's the title, the Divine, is the titular head of the Chantry, although since the schism split the Imperial Chantry into its own faction, there are now in fact two Divines at any one time. One Divine, informally called the White Divine, is a woman housed in the Great Cathedral in Val Royeaux. The other, known as the Black Divine, is a man housed in the Argent Spire of Minrath House. Neither divine recognizes the existence of the other, and the informal names are considered sacrilegious. No matter the gender, a divine is addressed as most holy or your perfection. Beneath the rank of divine is the Grand Cleric. Each Grand Cleric presides over numerous chantries and represents the highest religious authority for their region. They travel to Val Royeaux when the College of Clerics convene, but otherwise remain where they are assigned. Grand Clerics are addressed as Your Grace. Beneath the Grand Cleric is the Mother, or in the Imperial Chantry, the Father. If a Mother is in charge of the particular Chantry, revered is appended to a title. These are, we've come across one of those before, in Lothering. These are the priests responsible for administrating the spiritual well-being of their flock. The Mother or revered Mother is addressed as Your Reverence. Brothers and sisters form a rank and file of the Chantry and consists of three main groups: affirmed, initiates and clerics. Affirmed are the lay brethren of the Chantry those regular folk who have turned to the Chantry for succour. Often they are people who have led difficult or irreligious life and have chosen to go into seclusion, or even orphans and similar unfortunates who are raised in the Chantry life. So I guess that's what Liliana was. The affirmed take care of the Chantry and are in turn afforded life in quiet, contemporary and contemplation, no questions asked. Only those folk who take vows become initiates. These men and women in training, whether academic knowledge or martial skills of a warrior. These initiates receive an academic education, though only those who seek to become Templars learn how to fight in addition. So that's Alistair. Clerics are the true academics of the Chantry. Those men and women who are dedicated themselves to the pursuit of knowledge. They are often found in Chantry archives, sages presiding over libraries of books and arcane knowledge. The most senior of these clerics placed in charge of such archives are given the title Elder, though such a rank is still beneath that of Mother. All other brothers and sisters are addressed simply by noting their title before their name, such as Brother I've forgotten that name. Him. A chest!
Done.
Well, oh, there we go. Steel symbol of Andraste, which is a gift. And research. Missed ramblings about local legends and ancient trade routes. One passage still stands out. The village of Haven in the Frostback seem a good place to start. Pity it's not on any of my maps. The village of Haven, mountains to the west, might have some clues to the location of the urn. Village of Inti. We go to Haven and continue research. So if we end up going back this way, I guess that inn thing was just like to completely throw us off course, which makes sense because it was given, the information was given to us by someone who was not his assistant. So my thinking is that from here we head there, here, yeah, sort of on the way. Alright, well let's go. That was a lot of reading I had to do there. I don't particularly like reading aloud, though I think I'm getting slightly better at it. It does depend on the on what I'm reading all the time. But yeah, I know it's not one of my strong points. I'm trying to work on it, which is why I'm bloody reading everything. Trying to better myself as a person. Alright, well, a tavern. No reason to go into a tavern. Two gossips there, rear warden, poster. Alright, what else we got here? Well, I suppose we could have a look at these places now. If anything, we will stay in Denerim a while. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense, but we have just got here after a long road.
On it.
And if anything, we'll just sort of camp here a little bit. We want to arrive and just leave. Alright, see what we got here.
Welcome to the wonders of Thedas. We carry items crafted by the Circle, as well as a variety of antiquities. Is there anything you would like to see?
Browses, wares, okay, yeah, so this is enchanting, essentially. I think. Oh. Hmm. Oh wow, yeah. Well, that's pretty nice, yeah. And then we get runes. It's runes. I haven't really touched runes yet. Ancient maps of the Imperium. There's a gift. I'll buy that. Oh! 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 Manual spirit healer. Oh! Oh! I may well. Oh! It's expensive. It's all my money, but. It's there, and I'm pretty sure that she will teach us, but what if I'm wrong? What if I'm wrong about her, about Wynn teaching us to be a spirit healer? And then I don't buy that, and then I go through the entire game talking to her, pointlessly trying to, well, not pointlessly, you know, it's a bit harsh, but, you know, trying to get that out of her. When really all I ought to do is buy this. And I can't afford it. It's all my money, though. I'm going to buy it. Just in case. Just in bloody case, you know. That's everything now. Robe of the Witch, that'll do with Morrigan. Okay. Well, next time we'll level up. Or can I do it now? Can I do it now? Probably not. Oh! I want to be a spirit healer? Oh, that doesn't make sense to do it now. It doesn't make sense to do it now. We'll do it later. But yeah, I can become that now. Hang on. Books, scrolls, and everything. Okay. Geography of Thedas. Thedas is bounded to the east by the Longword Ocean, and west by the Tirishan Forest and the Hunterhorn Mountains. In the south is a snowy waste that lie beyond the Orkney Mountains, and to the north by the Dornoch Forest. The word Thedas in Tevinter in origin. Originally used to refer to the lands that borders the Imperium. As the Imperium lost its stranglehold on conquered nations, more and more of the lands became Thedas, until finally people applied the name to the entire continent. The northern part of Thedas is divided among the Anderfels, the Divinity Imperium, Antiva and Rivian, and the islands held by the Canary just off the coast. Central Thedas consists of the free marshes, Navarra and Orlais, with Ferelden to the south. It's a pretty big place then. What lies beyond the snowy wastes is a mystery. The freezing temperatures of Barrowland have kept most of the intrepid tychographers at bay. Similarly, the western reaches of the Anderfels have never been fully explored, even by the Anders themselves. We do not know if the dry steppes are shadowed by mountains, or if they extend all the way to the nameless sea. There must be other lands, continents or islands, perhaps across the Aranthane, or north of Parvolan, but the Canary arrived the Canary arrived in Thedas from somewhere just beyond a deduction we know nothing. So we don't know what lines are beyond the borders, basically. Hi.
Yes, make it quick.
I have a note here from... Do I? Oh yeah, he's an apprentice. Okay, good.
Strange. Let's see this. I knew it. I gave that man the best 7 weeks of my life. Well, I guess he won't have me to push around anymore. Ha!
Jolly good. Denerim. That's where we are. When anyone in Ferelden speaks of going to the city, they inevitably mean Denerim. There is no other place in the kingdom which rivals it. Not in size, population, wealth, or importance. It is the seat of the Therian family and capital Ferelden, and the largest seaport, and, by ancient tradition, the meeting place of the Landsmeet. As well, Denerim was the birthplace of Andraste. One of them, anyway, has several other sites claimed to have been the Prophet's early home, including Jada in Orlais. The Chantry takes no stance on what sites claims invalid, but it is well known that Andraste was Ferelden by birth. When visiting the pilgrimage site in Denerim, it is inadvisable to mention Jada at all. Okay, remember that. Quite important. The city rests at the foot of the Dragon's Peak, a solitary mountain scarred by ancient lava flows. During Andraste's lifetime, it was brutally filled the sky with a great column of black ash and sent burning rock raining down as far away as the free marshes, but it is now considered extinct. Some believe it merely sleeps and will again darken the sky with ash and fire when the last Ferelden king dies, but it's highly unlikely. But not impossible. Not impossible. Get to be a spirit healer, yay! Spirit healer! Little scroll here. What's that about?
You think they
Canary.
have any miniature golem dolls?
You really like miniature golem dolls, don't you? Gotta remember that. Maybe I have one. Anyone who travels far enough to the north will eventually encounter the Canary. We encountered one, but I let him die. Whoops. White-haired, bronze-skinned giants, a head again taller than the man, with frighteningly calm demeanours and sort of sparkling fire behind their eyes. For quite a long time, people believed that all Canary were male, and that their men and women were simply indistinguishable, like dwarves. It was not until the Blessed Age that diplomats from Revan were allowed, however briefly, to visit Par Vollen, and they were discovered the Canary females do exist in abundance, but they are quite easily recognised. The Ravani say that the Canary have a certain kindness to them, or at least a conspicuous lack of cruelty, though I did not observe the creatures closely enough to evaluate their character, and neither did we, to be fair. And there's one more. History of the Chantry, Chapter 4. Getting our history lessons today, aren't we? The crowds present at this Andraste were right to feel despair. It believed that the prophet's execution angered the Maker, as you'd expect, and he turned his back on humanity once more, leaving the people of Thedas to suffer in the dark. In these times, mankind scrambled for a light, any light, found some comfort in demonic cults that promised power and riches in returns of worship. Others prayed for the old gods for forgiveness, begging the great dragons to return to the world. Still others fell so low as to worship the Darkspawn, forming vile cults dedicated to the exaltation of evil in its purest form. That said, it is said that the world wept as its people begged for a saviour who would not come. Andraste's followers, however, did not abandon her teachings when she died. The cult of Andraste rescued her sacred ashes from the courtyard in Menrath House after her execution, stealing them away into a secret temple. The location of the temple has long been lost, but the ashes of Andraste served as a symbol of the enduring nature of the faith in the Maker, that humanity could earn the Maker's forgiveness despite its grievous insult to him. With time, the cult of Andraste spread and grew, and the chant of light took form. Sing this chant in the four corners of Thedas, it was said, and the world would gain the Maker's attention at last. As the chant of light spread, the cult of Andraste became known as the Andrastian Chantry. Those who converted to the Chantry's belief found it as their mission to spread Andraste's word. There were many coverts, including powerful people in the Imperium and the city-states that is now Orlais, such as the power of the Maker's word that the young king Darken undertook a series of exalted marches meant to unite the city-states and create an empire solely dedicated to the Maker's will. The Elysian Empire became the seat of the Chantry's power, the Grand Cathedral of Viroyo, the source of the movement that birthed the organized Chantry as we know it today. Drakon, by then the Emperor Drakon I, created the Circle of Magi, the Order of Templars and the Holy Office of the Divine. Many within the Chantry revere him nearly as equal as the Andraste himself. The modern Chantry is a thing of faith and beauty, but it is also a house of necessity, protecting Thedas from the powerful forces that would do it harm. Where the Grey Wardens protect the world from the blights, the Chantry protects mankind from itself. Most of all, the Chantry works to earn the Maker's forgiveness, so that one day he will return and transform the world into paradise it is always meant to be. Good luck with that. How are we doing for codexes, by the way? Let's have a look at this. See how far along we are with them. I'm not reading the item descriptions. I'm very sorry about that. I just kind of forget. So, I mean, we are chugging along with them. I've only got 2 of the 10 spell combinations. Bad me. And I still haven't learned all the controls of the game. I still haven't learned all the bloody controls. Anyway, there we go. Right. What I think I will do is take a quick break here. Been reading quite a lot. It does drain me. And I shall resume. And then we'll explore dinner a bit more. I've got a few more little quests to do here, and then we'll head. Well, then we'll see what happens. I don't want to make any plans really, because you never know what's going to happen in this bloody game. Because it's really impressive. Like the world they've created is amazing. You know, it's quite immense how they've created this entire setting for this one game. A lot of work has gone into it, and yes, there are parallels to real world religions and stuff, but then there always will be, and I don't see that as a sign of laziness, really, considering the amount of work that has gone in this game in total. You got to remember, you know, this was just one game they were making. Create an entire universe with its different cults and religions and geography and places and people is really a hell of a lot of work for these guys, and they've done an amazing job. So bravo. And right, I'll be back in a little while.